Excuse me.
Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Kayla. How are you doing? Good to see all of you. What?
Micah, did you start the stream?
I think I did. It looks like it. You can check. It says on Zoom that it's live on live streaming service. So hopefully that checks out. It's always an act of faith, Tim, when I hit that button. All right. Good. All right. I've got 6:30. Do you want to? Should we spotlight ourselves now?
Just weave in the page.
What?
Just weave in the page.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom. We begin in song Hine Ma Tovu Manayim, how good it is to be together, page 10. Hine Ma Tovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Ma Tovu Manayim, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Words mean how good it is to be together, even though we're not in the same space. We are in the same time together, welcoming in Shabbat. We're going to add one more song of welcome, and you can find those words on page 343. They're way in the back of the prayer book, 343, and these words come from this week's special Passover Torah portion from the book of Exodus. Oziva Zimrat Yah Vayehili Lishua. Adonai, God is my strength, and God will be my salvation. These words come from the Song of the Sea, the words that we sang out as we walked through. So please join us from your homes. Oziva Zimrat Yah Vayehili Lishua.
Oh
Shabbat Shalom. We also get to say Chag Sameach, Happy Passover. Last Friday night we were standing on the edge of entering freedom as we were preparing for Passover, and now the Shabbat, we're winding our way toward the end of our holiday. We are so glad to see many smiling faces on our Zoom screens, and Shabbat Shalom as well to those of you joining through our live stream. You can take a moment, wave to each other, send each other a Shabbat Shalom. And we are also delighted to be joined this evening on our Zoom screen with the Jackson family, as Kayla Jackson will be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. And Kayla, we look forward to being with you and your family in the sanctuary together. For now, we're safely in our own homes, so we're going to invite, I believe, 3 generations, Kayla and her mom, Jen, and grandmother, Barbara, and I see Tyler there as well. We're going to turn our Zoom over to you, and we're on page 2 in the prayer book. And for everyone at home, we'd invite you to go ahead and light candles along with Kayla's family.
These Shabbat candles.
Oh, good. Okay. I thought you were still muted.
Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahalach ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom and an early Mazel Tov to all of you in your house. And we're going to continue to welcome in Shabbat with Lecha Dodi on page 20. We'll join in verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And again, please, you can turn your cameras on if you'd like. Great to have some kids with us tonight. Pajamas works, anything goes. Please join us as we welcome in the Shabbat bride. Lecha Dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad yishmi'anu el hameyuchad Adonai echad shemo echad v'shemo tiferet v'nitila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechumenecha imehor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha socha seder machshavat tila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela. Itoreri, itoreri, iva orech u'mi'ori, uri, uri, continue on page 28 with our call to prayer. Iggy, our dog, had great timing because we are about to call all of you to prayer, and here he came. So Iggy's ready. We hope you are too. Baruch Hu reminds us to leave our week behind, to move into Shabbat, and to be present and awake. So we'll begin with some English words and then call one another to prayer.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai. 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 I invite you to read with me in the English on the top of page 31, our blessing for creation. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. And even though we are apart, we take this moment to enter Shema, our prayer for recognizing God's oneness, Echad, God's unity, and invite you to think about all the ways that we are still connected to one another. We'll join together on page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Going to turn back to the Jackson home as Kayla will lead us in Ve'ahavta on page 36, these words that come from Torah, reminding us to pass Torah on to the next generation.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'kol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha bebeitecha uvlechtecha v'dabra uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru Vasitem ek b'mitzvotai
Vitam kedoshim lelolehem. Ani Adonai Elohim. Asher hotzeti etam me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohim.
Thank you so much, Kayla. This is just a highlight of you chanting Torah tomorrow morning. As we prepare for Micha Mocha, our Song of the Sea, which you can all find on page 40, we're going to especially acknowledge that Micha Mocha, these words come from the special Torah portion for this Shabbat of Passover. So if you think about it, when we were slaves, it's kind of easy to be afraid of things when you're a slave, and maybe you can think about times in your life when things have felt a little bit constricted, and maybe something that you were kind of afraid of. Well, there's a wonderful midrash, a story about the stories in the Torah that tells us about one young man named Nachshon, who midrash kind of imagines that he was really afraid when he was a slave. And there's even a story today that extends that more, that says he was also really afraid of water. And we know that in Egypt, you had to get through water to leave the land. And the moment came when Pharaoh told the Israelites that they could leave. And we know the story. The Israelites rushed quickly without even having time for their bread to rise to the edges of the sea. And they were standing there, and the Egyptians were coming behind them. And we know that the Torah says Moses raised his staff and called out to God and prayed to God what to do and asked God to part the seas. And nothing was happening. And Nachshon, our young boy who was kind of afraid of everything and even afraid of the water, he watched Moses praying to God in that moment, and he looked behind and he looked in front of him, and he decided to take a first step into those waters. And as the midrash goes, Nachshon took a step in, and the waters came to his ankles, and he took another step and the waters came up to his knees. And he kept going a little more and a little more until the water was at his waist and the water was at his shoulders. And he started to cry out, Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, O God, among all the gods. And the water was getting higher and higher to the point that it covered his mouth and he couldn't even get the cha out. And he said, Micha Mocha, as the water was kind of bubbling through. And in that moment, when the waters reached his face, together with Moses and God and all the Israelites, the waters parted, and Nachshon led the way through the sea to dry land. So as we sing tonight, I want you guys to especially think about something that you're proud of in yourself. Maybe if you were a little scared, you tried it. And maybe think about all the heroes in our lives, all those people who take just a small step and amazing things happen. By the way, Nachshon is all of us. We all have a little Nachshon inside. So we're going to sing out. We're going to not only sing Moses' song, Micha Mocha, we're going to add Miriam's song tonight. We'll announce the page when we get there. And any sisterhood members out there, I expect you to sing nice and loud. You can even dance if you have a tambourine at home. We'll celebrate this moment of freedom together. Tehillah,
was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one that sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched the spirit, she dances for the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. As Miriam stood upon the shore and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hands, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. It just went through a miracle, we're gonna dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מי החזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
As it is starting to get darker out and the sun has set, we'll continue on page 42 with our prayer for the evening, and especially maybe it's getting closer to bedtime, so we're kind of winding things down into our quieter part of the service. We'll join together in this nighttime lullaby asking for safety and protection throughout the night, and we'll wake up feeling renewed, feeling alive. We'll begin in the Hebrew and add some English as well.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
On page 45, we are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Words for this Passover season. We'll invite you to rise if you'd like. Page 46 will begin our Amidah together and then have a few moments to think our own thoughts, to whisper our thoughts to God. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia, Morid hatal. Mechakel Chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim b'chol yom ya'alelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We invite you to take a few moments for your own silent prayer. We're going to add some words from Song of Songs, Shir HaShirim, the special reading for the week of Passover. You can find the words on page 11. And last Shabbat, we did the fast Dodi Lee melody. This is the slower one. The words mean, I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. It's the season of springtime, of hopefully getting out of our homes a little bit and coming closer together.
Shani
going to turn our thoughts to healing as we think of any loved ones who are ill at this time. You can find Misha Berach on page 253. We especially pray for these members of our community, and I would invite you to, if you're on Zoom, you can share any other names through the chat. Colin Monroe, Jerry Seligman, Mary Lou Hole, Paul Robillard, Elizabeth Hill, Janet Watson, Deborah Booker, Dick Feibelman, Amy Seith, Mordechai Ben Chaya Rivka, Robert Bloom, Annalise Stone, Bernard Tarr, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Mateo Goldman, Judy Cook, Fruma Bat Harav Jacob Visonia, Dan Ruggiero, Harvey Grassfield, Toby Weiner, Svetlana Rabinovich, Devora Bat Ruth Vitzvidov, Bob Weller, Dahlia Harrell, Herb Brofsky, Herb Kupferschmidt, Esya Rushavskaya, Amy Fastberg Hertz, and Eileen Arnone. From healing to a moment of blessing. We typically take this first Friday of every month to offer a birthday blessing, although we can't call you up to the Bima tonight if you are on Zoom, and if it's your birthday this month of April, we'd invite you to maybe put up your hand, give a little wave so we can see you. We know others are through live stream as well. Any April birthdays out there? For all of you celebrating your birthday in the month of April, my special birthday wish for you is that it will be a day and really a year true to your month of warmth and flowers and blossoming into new life, to new years ahead, to springtime, and just a year of health and joy and peace and well-being. Happy birthday. I'm going to offer you the Shehechianu blessing, which is the blessing that just simply says, thank you, God, for enabling us to be in this moment and for all of you to have another birthday ahead of you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, source of holiness in the universe, who gives us life, sustains us, and brings us to this moment of celebration. In Hebrew, we say Yom Huledet Sameach, happy birthday, and a special shout out to Temple member Mark Albion, who is celebrating a special birthday this Shabbat, tomorrow, in fact. We'll just say that 7 is a very special and important number in Judaism. So happy birthday, Mark. And again, happy birthday to everyone celebrating this month of April.
Shabbat Shalom. I want to go back to the story of Nachshon that Rabbi Karen told a few moments ago. And I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and imagine what it might have been like to be Nachshon. Hold that image in your head, to look out and to see the sea in front of you, to know that danger is behind you and not being sure what to do, which way to go. And suddenly you move forward and the water starts to part and you look down that long tunnel of water to hopefully a better place somewhere in the horizon. Well, you can open your eyes. One of my favorite Israeli poets, Yehuda Amichai, imagines that for himself. He imagines it in the course of his life. And in a poem, he asks, "And what is my lifespan? I'm like a man gone out of Egypt. The Red Sea parts, I cross on dry land, 2 walls of water on my right and on my left. Pharaoh's army and his horsemen behind me, before me the desert, and perhaps the promised land too. That is my lifespan." I love this poem because it captures the central meaning of the mitzvah of the Passover Seder. In every generation, our tradition teaches, a person must see himself as having gone out of Egypt. She must understand that the story of the Exodus is not a retelling about our ancestors, but a telling about our own lives in relationship and in connection to the experience of our people. Amichai offers us a vivid depiction of what it means to go forth from Mitzrayim, Egypt, which literally means the narrow places. He teaches us that escape is possible, and yet the road to freedom is still narrow, a long corridor that holds a glimpse of the desert's expansive realm of possibility, and maybe, just maybe, a promised land that we yearn for. We now understand Amichai's life through the lens of our people's story, a brave passage out of constraint or suffering or fear. The momentum of his life continually propelling him toward, God willing, a better place. This poem invites us to identify with our ancestors and see that we are them. Who hasn't experienced fear or trouble or sorrow? Who hasn't wished to get out of their own narrow places? In each generation of our lives, there truly is a Mitzrayim from which we seek to escape. Jewish tradition brilliantly invites us to root the stories and struggles of our own lives within a larger story of the Jewish people. Our lives and struggles and experiences are not isolated, but contextualized in a community that lives from generation to generation through the millennia. Just as our people's march to freedom has meaning in becoming a nation, unified in the purpose of Torah sacred values, our stories have meaning when we attach ourselves to sacred purpose, renewing our commitment to a vision of wholeness and holiness. We might think that personalizing the redemption of our people is a touchy-feely contemporary twist, but if we look at the Haftarah for the 7th day of Passover, we see that personalizing our tradition is as ancient as the Bible itself. Our Haftarah comes from the 2nd book of Samuel, with echoes of the Israelite song at the shores of the sea, when the surreal feeling of freedom and redemption washed over them. The Haftarah encompasses a 51-verse song by King David. The warrior poet exults in God having spared him from a lifetime of enemies. King David declares, "You reached down from above and took me, pulling me out of the deep waters. You saved me from my powerful foe, from enemies too strong for me. They advanced on me in my time of calamity, but the Eternal brought me out into the wide open space. Because you cherished me, you rescued me." We are supposed to think about our own personal enemies and recall the faith we have in redemption, God's ability to help us overcome. If we can't identify our own stories with the story of our people, then that story, that redemption, that Passover Seder won't have any meaning to us. We have to connect them. This Passover season, how can we not consider our enemies? A virus that has brought not only illness and death, but also loneliness and isolation. COVID feels like a plague, and it has exposed plagues that we've ignored or accepted as reality for far too long. Staggering economic inequality, insidious systemic racism, a climate out of balance through humanity's unsustainable consumption. Passover comes each year to remind us that we can merit redemption, a world of renewed hope and possibility. The power that connects all life always leaves light at the end of the tunnel. Like Nachshon, our biblical figure who took those first steps into the sea, we can take the first steps to light at the end of the tunnel. We can continue to wear masks and stop the spread. We can take the phrase, "we're all in this together," to heart, not just now, but moving forward to advocate for a society that enables all to live in dignity. Exodus was not just for those who could run the fastest. Everyone needed to emerge together from Mitzrayim. Collective responsibility through a covenant made at Mount Sinai is the enduring promise of being able to overcome in each generation. Perhaps the promised land too. I hope so. That hope carries the seeds of redemption. Wherever we are in our own exodus, may we meet next year in Jerusalem, a little better, a little more free, in a world a little more healed. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to move on to the concluding portion of our sermon, of our service, excuse me. We don't need to have the liturgical announcements section. If you just read your weekly shofar, it's all in there. So go to your shofar.
But you can celebrate with us in two ways tomorrow morning.
That's
9
right.
a.m. our Layla and Minyan, and 10:30 a.m. Please tune in to the live stream as Kayla will become bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. Just a few of us in the sanctuary, but anyone can join through our temple's live stream, not Zoom, live stream only. And Shorashim, we've got a little in-person Havdalah in the afternoon. You need to fill out your health form, but we would love to see you. And a full month of April ahead. Actually, the new spring shofar just came out, the newsletter. So take a look and you can see lots going on. Our concluding prayers tonight will actually begin with counting the Omer, because we're in that season linking the Passover holiday to Shavuot, 7 weeks exactly. I mentioned 7's a good number in Judaism. So for those of you missing the Omer calendar at Temple, we're showing a picture so you can see it.
You're still on until I don't want to cut you off. So when you're ready, I'll share it.
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to share it. There we
Of
go.
course, if we were at Temple, we would turn the stones, but we'll just take this in. For now, the blessing for counting the Omer is on page 278. And I do have just one show and tell here, which is a new rabbinic toy that I found. It's not really a toy, but it's actually Omer counting cards.
Can we play Go Fish with them?
Maybe. So and
Do you have
might
them?
want to check this out. So really, it's a box of cards, and there's one for every day of the Omer. I don't know if we can see this through the screen here, but I'll just share. So they're divided. These cards are from Rabbi Karen Kadar, and there are exactly 49 of them, and she has divided them into 7 spiritual principles, a different spiritual principle for each week. Decide, discern, choose, hope, imagine, courage, and pray. And she writes, we count, and in doing so, make an accounting of who we are and who we want to be. So I'm going to read you because it is the 6th night and day of the Omer. So I just picked out number 6 from the box of Omer cards, and the 6th day is as follows. When we are young, we are led to believe that our legacy lies in our successes and our failures. Our most abiding legacy lies within our strength of character. How we react, respond, rebound is a measure of our inner strength, our inner vision of what is possible. So we say, Hineni muchan umzuman lekayem mitzvat aseh shel sfirat haomer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer.
Hayom shisha yom la'omer shehem shisha yamim la'omer. Today is the 6th day of the Omer.
Happy counting, everyone. We're going to move into Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 282. And actually, Kayla, when we're at Temple tomorrow, we'll make sure to turn the stone. You can help us. Aleinu L'Shabeach L'Adon HaKol, L'Tehikidu L'Yotzer Breshit, Shelo Asanu Kigoye Ha'aratzot, Velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai
Lemelech al kol haaretz
Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad. We'll continue on page 294. As we take this moment in our service to remember loved ones who are no longer with us, and we especially feel their loss, their memory during times of holidays such as Passover. We are especially remembering these loved ones who have passed away in recent weeks. Mayor Peril, the father of Abby Glazer, father-in-law of Avi Glazer. Linda Gervitz, mother of Michelle Gervitz, mother-in-law of Adam Wichman, and grandmother of Sophia and Gabriel. Bob Doucette, brother-in-law of Jane Feivelman. Esther Berman, grandmother of Jonah Berman. And we remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit occur on this Shabbat. Fanny Cohen, Dottie Eisner, Merritt Fastenberg, Milton Horowitz, A. Manuel Kaiserman, Morris Katz, Edna Gordon Nash, Carol Rothke, George Rubin, Morris Stone, Lillian Stone, Jacob Tanofsky, Esta Watsky, Charles Wax, Jack Wexler, Joseph Cohen, Riva Raskin, David A. Wiseman. I invite you to join with us in Mourner's Kaddish as we bless the source of all life, for giving us the gift of our loved ones' lives. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulamei amaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We're going to conclude with those last words that we just said. Oseh shalom, may God who makes peace above bring peace here amongst all of us. This is a melody that is familiar to our kids, and actually was Kayla's request. And then after that, we're going to turn it back over to Kayla to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. So get your wine, grape juice, and not challah, but matzah ready.
Oseh shalom b'roma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru.
Take it away, Kayla. We're going to invite you to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. To our fellow temple members, we're just going to stay muted through the blessings so Kayla can lead us and those in her home. And then after our blessings, we'll invite everyone to unmute and wish one another Chag Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.
Done?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafad, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav ve'ata b'anu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon inhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lamikrei kodesh Zeher Latiyat Mitzrayim Kiranu Bahata Yotanu Kirashta Nekolami Vishabbat Kojaha Ahava Uraton Kinhotanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. All right, Kayla, do you have some matzah there?
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lehem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Mazel tov, Kayla, to your family. We look forward to seeing you in the morning. Okay. Idji's like, what's going on here? This is not challah. All right, we would invite everyone to go ahead and, if you'd like to unmute, wish one another Shabbat shalom. Wonderful to celebrate with all of you tonight.
Okay, good luck tomorrow, Nikayla. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Chag Sameach, everyone.
Chag Sameach.
Hatzameah.
Ani,
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Yana,
Shabbat shalom.
Tim, Mel.
And Paula.
Mazel tov to the Jacksons.
Yeah, the Jacksons. Nice
Yes.
to have you here.
Mhm.
The
And
Russell.
good Shabbos, Fred and Lucinda.
Shabbat
Hatzameah.
shalom,
Shabbat
Cora.
shalom, Steve.
Thank you.
And Russell, Shabbat shalom.
Mel.
Chag Sameach, Tim.
Chag
Good
Sameach.
Shabbos, Mel. Hatzameah.
Shabbos, Bill Krasno.
Hi, Mel. Shabbos. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
Red Sox shut out for the first time in
3-0.
40,
3-0. But
The
the Baldy
first-
looked good.
first time in 44 years.
What,
Yeah.
shout out on opening day, you mean?
The shutout,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Back in the
Great
7th.
start.
But the Baldy looked good.
I can't tell if we're on.
Tim, I'll see you. Are we all set for next week?
I hope so.
So you'll just follow the outline and
Yep. I have
okay.
it printed out right here.
Brad did his songs and everything.
No, we're doing
Kayla,
that on
I
Monday.
hope-
Okay, great.
Kayla, I hope that you sleep well tonight. You sounded great. Thank you for leading.
Yes.
And it was nice to see all your support around you. Your right-hand man there, Tyler.
That's right. Tyler, don't keep your sister up tonight.
Shabbat
All right, we'll see you in the morning. Shabbat shalom,
Yes.
everyone.
Shabbat
Shalom,
shalom.
Rabbi.
Shalom.
Shalom.
I'm going to